when I get the child benefits, I can put, some amount of money for them in this same account.
How can I help?
Being new in Canada, so I got to see your video as regards investment or something like that. Yes, investment. So I'm trying to fall in that part as well, how I can invest and the right parts. As in, I think I'm not sure if I heard something about R something, but I couldn't pick that particular name. So I needed to, confirm and know what to do. I need your advice on that part.
Okay, so you said you're new to Canada. How new?
Just 2 months old.
You're just 2 months in Canada. Welcome.
Thank you.
So my assumption is that you haven't yet made any financial mess because you're just 2 months in Canada.
No. I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay. Super. So you started working?
Yes.
Okay. You got family or what?
Yes, I have a family.
Okay. So you're married and you got kids and
Yeah, 2 kids.
I'm assuming you're permanent resident, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So for your kids, well, there are a couple of options. The thing you probably heard me talking about was RRSP.
Okay, let me take that down. RRSP.
So there are a couple of things, and you saw me on TikTok, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I actually have quite a few videos on TikTok where I explained what the RRSP and the TFSA are all about. But the RRSP and the TFSA, those are both tax favored accounts. It just means that they have a preferential treatment when it comes to taxes. The RRSP, just imagine that this cup is a kind of account. When you put money in this cup, the way that is going to be treated is different from the way that if you put the money, let's say, in this bottle. So this cup is a tax favored account. Now, if it's an RRSP, whenever you put money inside here, the government is going to consider that you have not made that money this year. So they will not tax you on the money this year. But in the future, when you finally go and withdraw money from this cup to start using it, that's when they're going to tax you on the money. So an RRSP, it's just like a tax vehicle. So you can put your money within an RRSP and then invest the money inside that RRSP. You just don't pay taxes on it right now. On the other hand, a TFSA, before putting the money inside this cup, you already paid the taxes on it. So when you put it in this cup and the money starts to grow, whenever you start to withdraw that money, you will never have to pay taxes on what you withdraw, just because you already paid taxes on the money before putting it in this cup.
Okay.
You understand? So now imagine that all of that money that you put in there, when I explained it on TikTok, I explained it like a tree and a seed and the fruits. So if you have a seed and you take your seed and you plant it, that seed is going to grow and give you a lot of fruits. Mm-hmm. If you had put that seed in an RRSP, you will pay taxes on the fruits because you did not pay any tax on the seed.
Okay.
If you have put it in the TFSA, you already paid tax on that seed. So when you start to harvest your fruit, no matter how much the fruit comes out to be, you will never pay taxes on that fruit. Mm-hmm. You understand? Okay. So just understanding that's the basics of how the RRSP and the TFSA work. Now, mm-hmm. the important thing you need to know is when you put your money, whether it's in an RRSP or in a TFSA, just like a seed, you have to then instruct the bank or the institution that's holding that money to say, invest it. You would think that when you give somebody a seed, the person knows that, hey, I'm giving you a seed so you can go and plant it. But no, you have to tell the person, go and plant my seed. Mm-hmm. That's the mistake a lot of people make. They put the money in the TFSA or in the RRSP, but they never give that instruction to invest. And so when you come back 20 years down the road, they're going to take your seed and give it back to you. Hey, this is your seed you gave me 20 years ago. And like, but I told you to plant it. You said, no, you never told me to plant it. You told me to hold your seed. Okay, so I use very simple language to explain it because I really want people to understand that. Mm-hmm. So if you then go ahead and say, you decide that you want to start putting your money in an RRSP, it's all about then contacting the institution where you're creating that RRSP and setting up your investor profile and telling them that, hey, I'm going to be putting money in here. And when I put it in, this is how I want you to invest my money. So that when every time you put the money in, it's like you're putting seeds, they are taking those seeds and planting them the way that you have told them to plant it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's like a general overview of it. So do you have a specific question then when it comes to that?
No, I think it's well explained.
Okay. Now for your kids have something which is called RESP. It's a registered education savings plan.
Okay.
So you contact your bank and you ask them, you tell them that you want to open the education savings plan for your kids. When you start to put money in there, the government also starts to put some money in that same account just because you're putting money in. So once you start contributing for your kids, the government will also start contributing for them. If you never contribute for your kids, the government will never contribute for them into this RESP.
Okay.
And with the same thing, once you are contributing, there is the same like you're putting money, you're putting seeds. You still have to tell the bank, invest it or plant my seeds. So whichever of these vehicles you use, the RRSP and the TFSA, those have tax treatments for you. The RESP doesn't add or subtract anything from you in terms of taxes, the one for the kids. But in the future, when the kids start to withdraw the money from it, they will have to pay taxes on the growth, not the money you put in. Say if in total you've put $30,000 and the government has put maybe, let's say 10,000 or whatever, it becomes $40,000. That money, if it was invested, it starts to grow. When your kids are pulling it out, the money that you put in, they wouldn't be paying taxes on it. They would be paying taxes, I think, but I need to check this again. I think they would pay taxes on the one that the government had put in and taxes on the growth. The basic thing is to understand it's beneficial for you to start to put the money aside for them as well, so that they would get this free money, which the government would put just for the fact that you're putting money aside for your kids in education in the future.
Okay.
Okay. All of this is assuming that you don't have any debt right now. And that's like the best direction for you to go with your, like to start putting things aside for your future. But if you have debt, then your first thing is to pay off that debt first before you start to look about putting money aside for things like this.
Okay. Fine.
All right, good. Do you have any other questions?
Okay, my husband is asking, this RESP, is it different from the child benefit?
If you're ready to take action on your life today, check the link in the description below. You will get some free resources that you will get started on today. Yes.
From the government part, is it different from the child benefit that we'll be getting?
It's different.
Okay.
It's different.
So I can put, when I get the child benefits, I can put, some amount of money for them in this same account, or I should open another account for them.
So the child benefit, okay, so these are different payments. Okay, the child benefit, whether you put money in the RESP or not, you're going to get your child benefit as long as you have children.
Yes,
between a certain age group. Okay. That one is a given, you'll get it. What you do with that money depends on you. Most people think that this money is for me to take and give to my child, but that's not the case. The money is for you, the parents, because the government recognizes that raising children in Canada is expensive. And so they want to give some money to help families that have children. But now that money depends on the income, the net income of the family. So what you do with that money, if you decide to take that money and go and buy groceries, that's your business. The government doesn't care about that. If you want to take it and buy groceries, you want to take it and buy clothes for your kids, or if you want to take it and go and put it in an account to say, this money the government gave me for my children, I want to keep it for my children, that's your choice. Now, if you take that money and go and put it in an RESP, the government will still give you a contribution because you have put money in an RESP. Okay, so the money is yours, but they're giving you because you have children.
Okay. But what I want now is from you as a sister, what do you advise me to do with that money? That's what I want to know. What do you advise me to do with that money?
Do you need the money to live on it right now?
Yes, because coming down to Canada, we took up loan. So we are planning on paying back the loan so that we could, be able to live a life here.
Okay. In that situation, you need the money for day-to-day living. So use the money for day-to-day living.
Okay. And when I'm done with that paying off the loan, what do you advise me to start with the money?
We need to look at your overall picture, overall amount of money that you're receiving on a monthly basis, like your salary, your husband's salary, the assistance from the government, everything. We need to look at the money that you're getting. We need to look at what are your expenses, what are the things you actually have to spend money on, what are the things you're wasting money on. Because we all have things that we're wasting money on, right? We buy food and we come back and we don't eat all of it and it ends up in the garbage. That's waste. Right. So how much is it that you get? How much is it that you're spending? What are the things that you have to do according to your personal lifestyle? And what are your goals? Now, when you have that big picture and you're saying, this is what's important to me, this is how much I have, and this is how long it's going to take for me to achieve those goals. That's how you start to see, okay, I need to adjust certain things. So I can't give you a straightforward answer to say this is what you should do exactly with it without knowing like the bigger picture of everything that like your bigger picture of what it is that you have or don't have. Yeah. But at the same time, a general piece of advice is always have some money that you're setting aside for your future goals. And so if you're thinking that in the future your kids are going to go to college, then you should start setting aside some funds for their college in whatever way. Maybe if you decide that I'm going to start a business, that the profits from this business is what I'm going to put aside for my children, that's your plan because business is important to you. If it's like, okay, every month when I get my salary, I'm going to put X amount of dollars towards the education of my kids, then that is what you do because that's what you've seen that is important to you. Yeah. But to be able to like give you like that bigger picture, we need to dive deeper into your situation. And that's why most often I'll tell people, you know what, if you actually want to get the best benefit of working with me, like getting into my 6-week program, and then we can look at your whole picture and see, like, make a plan for like, this is what you should be doing. This is how it's going to go and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So the 6-week plan, when is that coming up?
Oh, it's always going on. It's on my website. So you just need to get into my website and then you book and then we start doing like, but the way it works, it's when you go in and you book the 6-week program, then I work with you. So if your husband wants to be there, it's even better. So it's me, you, and your husband, and we are doing like a Zoom call like this once every week, an hour every week for 6 continuous weeks, for 6 weeks. That way, like, we're looking at the big picture of everything and we're like, okay, this is what's important to Victoria and her husband. This is what we need to do and stuff like that. So we kind of work with you on a longer horizon and yes, towards your own personal goals.
Okay. Perfect. I'm game. I'll go to your website and I'll search for that. I'm game.
Okay. All right, super. So I could send you the link right after this, but if you anyway, when you go on my right on TikTok where you saw this, on that link, the first one is the free thing and the second one is like purchase one-on-one. So that's the one-on-one program that you can actually work with me for a longer time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. You got me, babe. You got me.
All right, super.
I'm really grateful. I have peace of mind now. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for all you do for people. It's really a lot. Thank you so much.
I applied for my credit card. I got it and then I start using like that because I didn't know, because I wanted like to get my credit card, because one of my friends, they told me like, if like, for example, in the future, you want to buy like house, you want to buy like cars and stuff, you need to get your credit card or get more score.